And clearly that's not the entire company, but they're really like... Was that necessary?
So Belathine made a comment to Lamont as she was sitting back down.
Oh, shit, what did I say?
But don't
Something
look,
along
it's
the
gonna be
lines of,
distracting, yeah.
if it's too distracting, then just don't look. And so she walks back to her seat, which in my mind passes by Lamont, and so she just kind of murmurs it.
With a good booty.
Yeah, indicative of him, like, hearing it. It's not like she was muttering it to herself, but she just didn't, like, say it at full volume. It was more like a meant for him instead of a, like, contributing to the conversation kind of comment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Lamont. Lamont says, "Oh, it's not me. It's other people. You don't want to be just causing, bringing attention to yourself like that, Especially when you're going to be busting windows."
But can we just... Belathine, like, cuts her gaze towards
Aiden just kind of shrugs.
Lamont gets very excited about this one thing that he's very good at. And kind of blocks out everything else.
Can we not simply open the door? Like...
do you have a key?
She looks at Aiden.
He looks at one hand.
Breaking in.
He looks at the other.
If you had it shut down, do you not know the individual who owns the restaurant?
No, I know the individual who's in charge of health and sanitation. So...
Belathine sighs and kind of steeples her fingers and rests her.
Belathine, I'd like you to meet an individual who of the highest caliber is in charge of making sure you get into this building, Lamont.
That introduction, though.
If Lamont says you break the window, well, find a brick.
She seems like morally offended by this.
Well, what are we waiting for? Lamont is our guide, and they are already here. Should we not venture forth?
Lamont looks around and he goes, my car's still at her apartment. I guess we can walk.
Oh, that car. Right, yes.
Can't we borrow one of yours, Aiden?
One of mine? Fine.
There you go, Lamont. Problem solved. You simply have to ask sometimes.
Yeah, okay. That checks out. And Lamont just goes Aiden, he goes, can I have the keys?
I don't know how to drive. And he just smiles, so I am not allowed to have keys anymore.
Oh.
O'Malley
Oh,
has the
O'Malley.
keys.
Yes, O'Malley has the keys.
Where's O'Malley?
Out front, waiting, as he always is.
Belathine, O'Malley respects you, right? You can talk to him.
Already up and moving towards the door. So she
Oh,
gets
good.
up and
Oh,
she gets
damn it.
outside to the double doors in the front of the establishment. And she goes outside to right as the wheelchair accessible plane starts to go down, because I'm assuming that's where he stands. That's where he stands in my head.
Yeah.
Would you mind giving me the keys to... I don't know, what do they have? I imagine they have a...
It's a car. No, they have a car.
Well, that's not very specific.
A car?
It is a vehicle.
Merlin, what kind of car
Do you-
is it?
Do you want it to be something specific?
I feel
Be
like
it,
Aiden's
carboy.
a poshy bitch. He's got some fancy custom model Land Rover or something.
Sure, there's a fancy Land Rover. He's got 5 dots in money.
That's
So
very good.
all of his dots are in being rich. So sure, he has that. But O'Malley O'Malley is a short, angry Irish vampire. He's the bouncer.
He's wiry and feisty.
Yeah. So O'Malley, shorter than Belathine,
Yes.
looks up at her. Oh yeah, you think I'm just your driver, huh? What you think we're going to do about it? I think I've got keys on me right now. Like, oh, I just walk around waiting for Aiden to call on me, just drive him here and there. Oh yeah, that's all I do. You can find him yourself.
Where are they, O'Malley? It seems like she's used to this bullshittery. I'm not asking you to drive me anywhere. I'm asking you where the keys are.
I didn't realize that I was in charge of the keys. Guess they're probably where keys go. Wouldn't that be the case?
You're the only one who drives the car. Are they in his office? Are they in your bedroom? Are they in your pocket? This would be so much more simple if you simply gave them to me.
All you'll ever want is for me to get this, get that. O'Malley do this, O'Malley do that. Where's the respect?
This is your
And he
job.
walks
You get
over.
paid for this.
Lamont interjects and says, "I respect you, Mr. O'Malley."
Yeah. There we go. See, that's the kind of respect I'm looking for.
She rolls her eyes.
That's not respect.
O'Malley, we've been friends for over 50 years. Would you please kindly give me the keys to the Land Rover?
Oh, would you please kindly? He starts walking off into the bar, waving his hands, continuing on his tirade about always this, always that. Never, hey, O'Malley, you want to go out and hang out? You want to have a beer, O'Malley? No. O'Malley, patch us up. We've been shot 14 times. Oh, O'Malley, we've got an unconscious girl.
Does O'Malley... Augustine stayed inside while Lamont and Belathine went out. I don't know, Kara, were you still there as well? Inside, or did you follow the others out?
I probably would have followed.
Probably would have followed, okay. I'm assuming O'Malley goes back through the bar. Is there any... I'm so used to D&D terminology. As O'Malley is like,
You can,
right,
you can use
seething.
D&D terminology. We know what you mean.
But like as O'Malley is seething, is there any way that I can notice where he goes to get the keys so I can retain that information?
Yeah,
Like
no,
a
that's
perception,
easy.
something
Roll
like that.
me. We'll do a perception roll. That's going to be
What is officially?
perception in this game is composure, and I know that there's a specific. Let me look it up real quick. They've got two things for it.
Yeah, so the way this works is there's usually like one attribute and then one skill that you roll, and you combine them to get whatever it is
Gotcha.
that you're trying to roll for.
Okay.
All
I
right,
feel like we do
so
perception a lot. We should have that one memorized.
Yeah.
We don't.
oh god, my cable's caught underneath my chair leg.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, this is definitely one that needs to be written down, unless I did write it down in my notes.
I'll write it down in our notes too if you want me to, so we can just.
Yeah. Okay. It does not look like I've got it written down. But we're going to go with, I know it was two things.
And I know
Wits plus
dice.
composure, I think is what it is.
Plus
No, because those
composure.
are both in attributes. It has to be.
Right.
Has to
I'm
be an
pretty
attribute
sure.
and a skill.
Isn't
Is it
that
like
right?
is it wits and like investigation?
It's wits and composure.
It
Oh,
is
it
wits and
is?
composure?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
it's
great.
one of the weird ones that's like
So
that.
then that means that the amount of dots I have, I roll that amount of d10, and anything above an 8 is a success, right?
Correct. And anything, a 1 is a failure.
So you subtract that from
All
your
right.
success.
So you subtract that.
Okay, so you
and-
add up the amount of successes you got.
Mhm.
Correct. And then you subtract the number of failures, so the number of 1s. And then you re-roll 10s because they're exploding. So you
Okay.
get this. So if you roll a 10, it's a success, and then you roll it again to see what you get. So start off by just rolling all your dice.
Great, let's do that. So we have, and then that's a C greater than, and then 8 is a success, right?
Correct.
I guess, is there greater than or equal? I'll just roll 70
Yeah.
and count it.
Greater than will work.
1, 2, 3 successes and a
Dang.
D10
So roll another die for the T10.
as a success. So 4
Nice.
successes total.
4.
Yeah, because of the 8,
No, that's
8, 9, 8,
5.
and then another 8.
That's
got, like-
5
10,
successes.
so 10 counts as a success plus another
Yes.
roll. Nice. Okay, great.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Holy
5.
shit.
Yep.
All right. So 5 is a super success. I don't know what they call it in this game quite yet, but that is yes. You are able to watch him walk behind the bar. You know exactly how far down his arm goes. You're pretty positive that in a matter of a few seconds, you could retrace his steps and pull the keys to the Land Rover out.
Okay. And possibly more.
So you have that information.
All right. So what does O'Malley do with the keys? Does he give them to Belle? Does he give them to Aiden?
He walks over to Belathine with the keys. Do you even know how to drive? Kind of questions her.
Duh.
Do you have points in drive?
I do.
Oh,
Do you
goodness.
really?
Yes.
What?
Where is it on my thing?
There a drive? Oh, there is a drive skill. Nice. I do also have it.
Alright,
Poison
so
drive.
like,
Nice.
I can drive.
you actually, I did not.
She rolls her fucking eyes for the 17th time in the last 5 minutes. She again says, "Thank you kindly," and snatches them out of his hand, curls them up in her fist, and looks expectantly at the rest of the group before turning promptly and walking. So how are they going to get it? Where would their car even be? Because
You could just assume that you know where the car is. We don't have to necessarily worry
Yeah,
about that. We could say you are now in the car, and you take the car to the bar.
okay.
Give me a
Before I
drive roll.
go,
Oh, go ahead.
before I go, I want to do a quick thing. Augustine, who has been at the table with Aiden, is going
Yes.
to. Aiden, it is always a pleasure to speak to you. I will get you the information that you seek promptly, and I will expect payment in return equally promptly. And he's going to like hold his hand out, not for a shake, but as like I'm assuming there's some sort of like hand kissing type thing with Aiden.
Yeah.
There's probably, and he's going to kiss Aiden's hand.
That's
And
why
then turn
Aiden
it
keeps
off.
him around. Reaches out,
Um,
yeah. Cool, yeah, so Aiden continues with the, I appreciate the help. Your payment will be made at the moment I have the information. Thank you for being so willing.
Of course.
And then he leans his hand forward for the proper.
Proper kiss. Perfect.
Yep.
And then as Augustine goes out, he's going to pass by O'Malley and touch him on the shoulder and say, "Seems that you have some qualms that might need to be aired. Perhaps we should go for a drink sometime."
He looks around everybody, and that's how you invite somebody out for drinks. I'd
And I'm
like
just going
that.
to walk towards the bar.
There we go. Bunch of degenerates.
Why are you shaking your head, Emma?
O'Malley is like, he's like super chill. He's not actually mad. He's just being O'Malley. And so
Sure,
O'Malley's
sure.
just gonna like, the whole time. They're like siblings, all of them. Well, except for Belle and Aiden. That'd be weird.
Just you wait. Siblings can turn. Just as
Clearly,
as anyone else.
clearly you're trying to poach our help.
He's the
Did
good
you
help.
not hear his character description?
He's there to play games.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Great. Yeah, no, Augustine's in the car. That's all I wanted to do.
Okay, so does it matter how we're sitting? I assume she gets there with the help of somebody's GPS because I doubt she usually drives because O'Malley usually drives. She is just capable of driving.
You don't even have to drive. Lamont knows the city better than everyone else. I don't know if Lamont has drive.
I don't know.
Lamont
if she
does not
let him
have
drive the
drive.
Land Rover.
I have drive.
Belle's fine driving as long as somebody gives her directions.
Yeah, we can. I mean, both of me and Taylor's characters can probably get you there. We're intimately familiar with the city.
Perfect.
And I do have drive.
So we arrive. We park.
How many points of drive do you have?
Me?
One.
Oh, so y'all both just have one. All right, so I'm going to make you make a drive check
Oh.
because we're going to get used to rolling dice.
All right.
What's the other part of drive?
That's going to be skills, which are on page. Where did that go?
Oops.
I know we've
Sorry.
literally just looked at this.
Okay, I'm almost on the page. Mental skills, physical skills, drive. Sample actions, pursuit, stunt, tailing.
Drive is going to be.
So it's
Yeah,
up
let's
to you.
go with Dex plus Drive,
Okay.
or for this Wits plus Drive because you're trying to find a place.
Wits plus drive. That's
Yeah.
4.
Now, normally we wouldn't make rolls for this, but I'm just trying to get us used to how everything works.
Roll 4d10.
Anthony just dropped. There he is.
Oh, sorry.
Oh
Excellent.
yay. Okay, good.
I did that earlier.
Roll 4d10. So I have an explodey. So I just roll another d10. That's no failures and no successes.
No, that 10 is a
No.
success.
Oh, the 10 is the
Oh, it is
success.
one success because of
Yeah,
the
that's
10.
one.
All right, so normally, like, driving isn't something I'd need y'all to pass or fail as much as I'm just trying to get us used to the rolling the dice in the system.
No
So
worries.
you arrive at the bar. It's kind of settled back on a mostly abandoned street. And when I say abandoned, like, shops are closed down. It's not a great neighborhood. It's close-ish to where both Lamont and Kara live. So it's kind of like the local haunt. The lights are off. The open sign is off. The street lights occasionally flicker. Some of them are off. It's just kind of dark and dreary. There's not a lot of life around here.
You should probably not park right in front.
Exactly. Is there a way to surreptitiously conceal the vehicle in an alley, or even, well, it's kind of stand-outy.
Yeah.
Let's conceal that as
Because
much
you
as
wanted to
possible.
have an ostentatious Range Rover.
It's Aiden. It's Aiden. There is nothing about that boy that's not ostentatious.
Oh no, he's extra AF.
Exactly. The fact that the Range Rover, Land Rover, I don't honestly know the difference, isn't like custom painted and like glittery or whatever is like surprising. But let's where are we gonna park the car? Is there an alleyway or some?
There are parking spots. There's an alleyway that you could go down because the alleyway is where she got jumped.
I don't want to park on the crime scene.
Typically safe. Like, you don't want to do that.
Is there any other like discreet area to put the car?
Lamont, give
Mhm.
me a streetwise and wits roll.
Alright, streetwise.
Because you're casing the joint.
Alright.
And this is going to be something that you are very good at.
Alright. So streetwise and wits.
Yes.
Alright, that's 8 dice.
Boom. There we go. All ones.
Don't say that.
In before.
Oh, Jinx. Not
Slash
Steven.
roll.
Rude.
8, 10.
It's supposed to be greater than 8.
Oh, Well,
That's one, two,
I didn't get
three
any
suc-
8s, but
Three
I,
successes,
have
though,
two
plus
10s.
2 rerolls,
Two
yeah.
explodies.
Holy crap.
So at least 3 successes.
Is that not? Oh, yeah, I got a roll, full roll. It's too used to roll 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, no worries. Like I don't usually use the rolly thing over in here, but it's because it's complicated, but it's handy at the same
It's not even that complicated.
Oh, bless. I put the
That's all
thing
good.
backwards. I got
So-
2 fails after that.
The one on the reroll does not count as a like actual failure.
It does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when you reroll, you can't get a like negative to your successes.
Oh.
It's all your reroll is pretty much always either positive or just neutral. There is no way to get a negative on your rerolls for the 10s.
So then it's 2 successes because there's a 9 and a 1, and so it's going to cut one of them out. So 2 successes, right?
Correct. So yeah, there's a 10, a 9, and a 1. No, it's still 3. It already removed the 1 if you look at it. 9, 10, 10, 1. That should be 4,
Yep.
but
What?
then it
No, it
subtracts.
should be 3.
Yeah.
So it's 2 successes.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
2.
Am I looking at something wrong? Did I look at 9?
10, 9, and a 10. And then
Oh,
a
So
wow.
1.
that's 3.
Yeah,
and then
you're
because
correct.
it's a 1, you take 1 away, so you're left with 2. 3 minus 1 is 2.
Yeah, no, I saw 2. I saw an extra 9 somewhere because my eyes
If
don't
you
work.
put an S after the roll, it'll put them in order, apparently.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's handy.
that's
Nice.
beautiful. All right, yeah.
Great.
So 2 successes. Following Lamont's guidance, because words are hard, you are able to find a spot on the street that is away from any prying eyes. It's a little bit of a walk back, but it's definitely worth the ability not to be seen by everybody.
I'm glad I didn't wear heels now. If we're doing walking.
Now you're still in the like skin tight.
But it's
Latex.
nighttime, right? It's evening.
Yeah.
Are there people around?
Not that you can see currently. You can hear things down alleyways, and you see a couple of lights on across the street as there are some businesses open, but you don't see anybody outside right now.
My immediate D&D tingling senses are for me to want to make a stealth roll. I don't know if that is pertinent here.
I
Not,
mean,
we're trying to be discreet.
yeah.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay,
Dex
I'm gonna-
plus stealth.
So dexterity plus stealth. I'm just going to
Let's
do
see
that
if there's-
preemptively.
Let's go ahead and go to...
Since I have a specialization of stealthing in plain sight, does that give me any bonuses with the specialization? If I'm walking,
I would say,
or
is
if
that...
I'm not?
So the specialization is the extra thing for the
Yeah.
skills. Yeah, then you're going to get, like... You're in plain sight right now. You're not, like,
Yeah.
hiding in bushes.
That's what
So
I
you'll
thought.
get an additional 3 dice.
Additional 3? Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what you get for using your specialty.
So that's 1, 2...
Wait, it was stealth and wits, right?
Stealth and dexterity, but I'm
Dex.
looking to see if I'm wrong.
It looks like you get to choose.
Yeah,
I
it
get to
does.
choose? Oh, wow.
Okay.
So...
Or like the DM, the storyteller gets to
Okay, yeah,
choose.
so dex plus stealth. It is sneaking, is what you were doing.
Do you
So
want me to
Dex
dex
plus
then?
stealth.
You want me
Yeah.
to dex rather than wits?
Yeah, dex, stealth,
Okay.
and then you can use your specialty, or if y'all have any stealth specialties that apply.
Yeah.
I'd like to stealth as well.
I got 2 1s, so that cancel out the successes from the 10, but that's 2 other 8s, so that's 2, and then I reroll.
What a roll.
And then, okay, so 2 successes for Augustine.
All right.
So my
Oh man.
my stealth specialty is blend in. Does that apply?
I don't think that will apply here.
Oh, okay,
No.
never mind.
That'll be better in like a crowd.
Dex
Like,
plus
if you're-
stealth, I still have 6.
If you're losing a tail or somebody's chasing you, just like walk into the mall and disappear.
Okay, 2 successes for me.
Okay.
Oh, Google. He gets so confused.
Oh, I missed.
Or googly
Let's
googles.
see.
Good Jazzy, he's so fat. Jazzy, what are you doing?
No 6s.
Oh, yikes.
1 failure.
Ooh. All right.
Look at that fat cat.
So,
Oh, that's very sweet.
Steven, are you going to stealth?
Yes, sure. I'm actually no. I'm not gonna
was gonna
stealth.
say-
I'm just gonna be walking around,
All
trying not to look suspicious.
You know what?
Not,
I
not,
think
not gonna like hide in the shadows because that draws attention to yourself.
as you're seeing Kara off to the side, just like slowly sliding across a wall like nobody can see her.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I look back and I look for the rest of the crew and I'm like, think to myself, what the hell are they doing?
It's very good.
We got
All right.
we got things to scope out before we start sneaking. But he doesn't say this out loud because, you know,
Yeah.
gotta keep us covered.
The 2 people that disappeared are the vampires, which are also the 2 scariest to disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're not people you want to lose track of in a dark alley.
Well, I look at my fellow human and I just kind of like make a motion, just like, get over here. Stop, stop.
I'll follow his advice. That seems like a good idea.
So, I'm walking around, and begin making light conversation. But I'm going to keep an eye out, basically casing the joint. I'm looking for any sort of obvious entry and exit points, and I'm looking for anyone who might be keeping an eye on the building.
All right. So casing the joint is going to absolutely be. I think that's going to be what, a perception.
Okay.
So wits plus composure, I think, is a pretty solid choice there. Unless you have any other like abilities and attributes that you want to combine to get a good effect, because y'all can always tell me I want to do these 2 instead and give me rationale behind it.
Well,
Unless
So
this might be
wits-
worse than the actual.
yeah, I mean, this is specifically with the idea of breaking and entering.
Yeah, hold up.
So,
Had to go back through the skills again. Casing a building is a sample action. Wits plus larceny.
wits
Oh,
plus
nice.
larceny. So
There
another
we go.
8 dice.
I'd also like to roll like a normal perception roll.
Go for it.
I'll let Steven go first.
So you really just need one success in order to achieve.
So, one
if you have
success
5 or
is-
more.
Right. So let's pause real quick before you roll, Steven. And one of the mechanics in this game that I always forget about is stating intent. So what you do is you essentially tell me what you want to get out of this action. Like for the drive, for instance, I would like to arrive there safely. You succeed, you arrive there safely. So what are you hoping to get out of this? Now, another part of this is you also, as players, have a little bit of story crafting capability in these kinds of things. So you can say, I want to scope out a specific spot to break in instead of just a general, like, I want to look everywhere. You can actively look for things that you want to find, even if I haven't made mention of them.
Okay.
So what would your intent be right now?
My intent is to look for possibly like an open window, preferably on the alley side.
All right, then give me a roll.
That is no successes.
That is no successes.
Aw, but it's no failures
no.
either.
No failures.
So you find a window, but it is locked, and it is on the second floor.
Oh.
Okay.
I'd like to roll just kind of a general perception to see if I notice anything
Okay.
useful for breaking in.
Oh, that's lots of success.
Mm.
3 successes.
And potentially more. Oh!
Do I
roll
get to
that-
keep rolling?
Yes,
Oh, you get to keep
yes!
rolling.
It's
Wow.
exploding. Roll it until it's not a 10.
Okay, that's 4.
That's 4
Four.
successes.
For good,
Almost.
almost 5.
Almost a super success. Okay, so we didn't do intent with this one in a very specific way. So what you find is you notice that on the front door there is a sign that small print. If you want to get close enough to read, this is the health and sanitation coming in and being like, boom, this building is under inspection right now, closed until further notice. There's a big lock on the front door that's chained. You notice that there are a couple of, down the alley, you see a couple of boxes that are stacked in interesting ways, but that's about as much as you get from that. As well as you remember from being here before that there is an outside cellar on the back of the building. You don't necessarily know if that cellar goes into the bar proper, or if it's just a detached cellar underneath the building.
But I told him what we should check the cellar.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So, okay, for game plan, do we want to scout outside first, get inside the window? Because I think the vamps can carry the humans, like, piggyback, and then scale the wall. Convincing them to do that is another matter. But it is an option. And then we can check out the cellar if we don't find anything good. Well, no, we should probably still check it out just in case there's something in the cellar. Does that sound like a good plan of action? Anybody else have a better idea?
Augustine is just waiting and watching in the shadows. I mean, I'd love to do OOC, but I want to rather get a deep
That's fair.
dive
That's
into
fair.
the RP. So yeah, I'm just watching Lamont make the decision. As
Okay.
Aiden said,
That's
he's the
right.
guide. He's the
That's
guide,
right.
so just taking a peek and seeing what
I'd
he
like
does.
to go look at what kind of lock is on the cellar.
Okay. Lamont, you see Kara walking around the alleyway to the back of the building.
Belle's gonna follow surreptitiously behind because that's still sort of her ward.
Mhm.
She's still stealth, so I don't know how invisible she is. I'm not busting any vitae for that, but
Okay.
she's going after, following her, not like as in attacking. She's following her to make sure she's still safe.
All right.
You're muted.
Oh no.
Took a bite of pizza, so I muted myself.
So,
But
No.
Lamont is going to go ahead, light up a cigarette, and pull out his phone as he walks over to the corner of the alleyway. Keep a lookout, but be talking as if he's talking to someone on his phone and smoking a cigarette.
That's smart.
Bless you, Gustav.
Oh,
All right.
Gustav.
cool. So, everybody has had a round. Let's roll. Now, this is just something that I'm going to do.
Mhm.
Let's see if anything. Okay. No event happens.
Oh no, I don't like this. This is like Stab.
Quick question for rules clarification for the vitae. I know that it says roll d10. Is that at the beginning of each session I roll a d10? That's how much vitae I have as a vampire? Not.
Just you roll it once, and that's what you've got.
Yeah, it
Gotcha.
kind of sucks.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll that now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Holy God! I'm so
There
excited.
we go.
I have 3.
At least you didn't get one.
That's fair. That's fair.
So our boy,
You have all the
Augustus.
expendable bullshit. Oh my goodness. That's so awesome.
I'm gonna be right back. I gotta say goodbye to the small child.
No
No worries.
worries.